I'm Larissa Rubijevsky with Remax Palace Verdes.
Hi, I'm Mike Bjork with First Cal Mortgage, and welcome to South Bay Market Reports.
Welcome, and thanks so much for joining us. Today we're going to talk about sellers' concessions. There are a couple of things that are going on right now in the market. Never ever it's been more popular or acceptable for the buyer to come and ask, give me the money. How does it work with the lending?
Well, from our standpoint, it comes down to, when the buyer wants to make an offer, it's reasonably to expect that the buyer with the buyer's market want money back to cover some of the closing costs, which are not cheap. And when you go ahead, the difference is you have conventional, you have FHA, and then you have jumbos. And the breakdown is what really comes down to your down payment. On a conventional, if you're putting down only 5%, they're only going to give you a maximum of 3% of your loan amount, or actually your sales price, of your sales price for the credit is how they look at that. And then if it's between 75 and 95% of your value of your financing, you can go up to 6% with the seller's price for concessions, and then anything below 75% financing. So if you're putting down more than 25%, you can actually ask out upwards of 9% of closing costs to cover your closing costs.
Right.
And FHA is 6% automatically, and those can be applied towards your recurring or non-recurring closing costs. And what that means is that recurring is your property taxes, your insurance, and interest on the property. So if you want to create an impound account, meaning that you want to pay your property tax and your insurance along with your mortgage payment, and we usually call what they call an impound or escrow account reserves, we can use that money towards that as well. So it's less money for you to come out of pocket. And then non-recurring is when you pay your escrow title, your bank fees, and such as that, because it's a one-time payment is how you kind of look at that.
Right. For example, you also can go another route in terms of the seller's concessions. Your property cost $1 million, for example. You are telling the seller, I'm going to give you as a purchase price 1.1 or 1.2 million. Out of this amount, 200,000 will go towards my recurring or non-recurring closing cost. Please be careful with that, because again, there is a certain percentage that the bank would allow. Check with your broker. Make sure that you are not waving the red flag in front of the lender, because that might just kill the whole deal. Now, about personal property, our suggestion, leave it outside of the contract. Again, how the lenders are treating the personal property to be included as a concession.
The first thing you want to think of is on a personal property is personal property. When you're getting a mortgage, it's against the actual securitization of your residence, your property, the subject property, the land, as well as the house. So personal property really is best to be handled outside of escrow if you can, but if for some reason you need it, have it in the contract, you need to specify it so that in a way that it's not adding to the value of the property. So when an appraiser goes out there, he's going to go and appraise the value of that property without that, let's say if you're asking for furniture, without the value of that furniture tied to that property. And he's going to have to specify that in the appraisal, even though it might be in your purchase contract. It's just a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to keep it outside of escrow.
Right, and in the current lending conditions, you really want to be as clean and crisp as possible. Make it as simple as you can, not to alarm the lender, because sometimes it might be very costly for you. Now, sellers are usually under a lot of buyer's pressure now. After the physical inspection, they have to deal with the buyer's request to fix something or to give again some money or concessions towards the repairs. People treating this issue differently. Of course, you have to find out first and make a reasonable list. Mr. Seller, I want this roof to be replaced. Reasonable? In some cases, yes. In some cases, seller said, hello, no. Actually, seller has 3 ways of responding to your request. Number 1, the seller can say, all right, roof is really bad, I'm going to replace it for you. Seller on the second choice might say, no, I'm not going to do anything, or I will just repair the roof or do some partial job. Number 3, seller might say nothing, and he's entitled to it. Contract speculates that you are buying the property as is condition, whatever you see, whatever you get. Anything different in terms of the property condition?
Conditions is, the first thing they're going to look at is the property habitable? Are you able to move right in there and live in the property? If not, things do need to be repaired. Now, the difference is between the different loan programs is conventional will allow a credit to be applied. You can do what they call an escrow holdback, where escrow holds that money and to allow that to, after close of escrow, to be repaired. FHA will require you to have that repaired before they'll even fund the loan. So you have to know your differences in the programs. And of course, jumbos, it depends on the investor or the bank that's going to provide that, since it's more of a portfolio product and it's kind of, everybody's a little bit different when it comes to
So check.
Yeah.
Now, what if the seller is the bank with foreclosure or REO properties? Again, they've been way more flexible nowadays than days in the dark.
Yeah, exactly.
So please take advantage of it. It is a buyer's market, and you definitely have lots of layout of it. You need to talk to the bank, and again, be quite persuasive. You have to have a really good negotiator as a real estate agent on your behalf who will be fighting for your interests and to get you more money. But you have to be very smart of how you and your agent will ask the bank. There is no statement such as, oh, Mr. Bank, I want 20 grand, please give it to me. No way. You have to support it with a couple of bids with the licensed contractors. Very important, folks. So please make sure that you are prepared before you ask the bank for the concessions.
And also thrown in there is the inspection report. So to even lead to having those contractors,
Absolutely.
you want to make sure that your reason why you're getting that is because the inspection report indicates that these are serious issues that need to be repaired. And then so far you went out and got licensed contracts to make bids on. So when you propose it to the bank, making the offer, now you got a real reason why you're asking for those concessions to be made.
All right. Well, that's it for today. And again, excuse our little hiccups because we are not professional speakers and we're not here to entertain. We're here to educate. With any questions, please do call 310-387-1414.
Or 310-694-3544.
Have a good day.
Take care.